listening to episode 107 of Paper Player. I'm your host, Tony, and I'm joined with Josh, and we're missing both Jeffs. They went on a secret date without us, and I'm a little jealous, to be honest.
You gave the secret out.
I'm not happy about it.
You spoiled that. You spoiled the beans, man.
You got to. Yeah. All right. So, as always, you can connect with us on socials. This is probably the best way to get a hold of us or connect with our podcast. If you're a fan, thank you for being a fan. But go to our link tree. It shows us literally everything. And then if you want to be entered into our drawing that we do every single Wednesday for 5 cards, it's typically whatever I open up throughout the previous week. I just pull out the hotness and I give it away to you guys. And the way to do that is to subscribe to our YouTube and make sure that your subscription settings are to be public or I can't see you. So just so you guys are aware, we have 327 subscribers. Of those 327, only 168 of them are public, so I can only pull 168. So for those of you that are not public, make yourself public so you have a better chance at winning, or a chance at winning a card every single week. But with that, Josh, I know I was going to ask you about Magic, but I know you spent a week in Bonnaroo? Dude, give me some of the hits. Give me some highlights. What was your favorite act?
It was this duo called Elephant Heart, and it's that like eclectic like world kind of music with like a dubstep background.
Sure.
I don't know, it's really catchy and it's really bouncy, and the reason I wanted to see that band is there's a song where she says Elephant Heart, but it sounds like elephant fart, and that's why I was there, and that show didn't disappoint. Odessa blew my mind. The fireworks, everything, the production was out of this world. Kendrick Lamar tore it up. He had a live band with hip hop. Makes the entire difference.
So,
so good.
With things like Kendrick Lamar, how big is that crowd, and do they cut you guys off ever?
What do you mean?
So you're in an open field, right?
Yeah, it's a giant open field.
Yeah. So is there ever an act that's just this is getting too crazy that we can't fit anybody?
I think it's designed to fit what the sellout crowd is. I guess when I was there in 2019, which was the Childish Gambino year.
Oh, sure.
It was I saw how big the crowd was, and I was like, oh no, and I didn't go in. I don't know how big that was, but it looked huge.
Yeah. That guy's one of the unique musical acts that are kind of out there in the game right now.
Foo Fighters tore it up, killed it at the end. They had Paramore come on stage and play a song with them.
That's pretty cool. What's her name? Haley?
Haley Williams, and then he had his daughter sing a song with him.
That's pretty cool, dude.
Right.
There's so much respect for that. Dave Grohl. There's so much respect for that guy just because he just seems like a wholesome guy.
He is that. He was very, very wholesome the entire set. If you get a chance to watch the YouTube stream, it's worth the stream.
Okay. Huh. All right. Sick, man.
And yeah, I had a great time. The weather was perfect until the last day.
Yeah.
Couldn't complain. I had came back with clear head, clear mind, and the Wook flu.
Yeah, I think the hardest part about the Wook flu. I think the hardest part about because getting back on vacation is getting back into the rhythm of work. I swear to God.
Today sucked.
It just takes I don't know what it is, but I don't know if it's the same for you, but for me, it takes a week to get back into the flow of it. And then I'm like, all right, I'm here. Because that week is just all catch up and I'm just finding my footing.
I walked into 4 people wanting to talk to me and it was a nightmare this morning.
Nice. All right. All right. So, I'll do a short Magic Roundtable. I didn't grab any custom curations. I was going to grab some this morning, but nothing made me laugh, so I was like, I'm not going to force it. I want to keep this thing fresh. But we're going to talk about
the Discord that you haven't used yet.
No, there's none in there. If someone posted one, it's unaware to me. Usually they add us. Well, I've seen some of the ones that you posted in there. We'll talk about the RCQ promos, the fake rings that are everywhere. Say it again. I can pull it up, I guess. Let me see. Let me just take a peek and see if I want to put this on stream. I don't think so. No. Those were funny though. All right. The professor's tweet. Did you know? Stop crying about Commanders. Stop crying, Commander Cucks, and then Let Me Influence People, because they introduced the ambassador program for Magic the Gathering, and I might throw my ring in the hat, or our ring in the hat, or how's that saying go? Our hat in the ring. I'm all mumbles and jumbles, but all right, man. The little bit of Magic I played was the pre-release. The set is hard to keep up with, I can say that. There's a lot of words on all the cards, and there's just a ton of stuff going on, and there's a lot of leaving the battlefield, entering the battlefield, certain types of cards mattering, food mattering, legendaries matter, the ring being moved all over the place, the ring having 4 separate abilities that are somewhat relevant at some points, and then also just all random stuff on top of that. So I was struggling to keep an eye and understand the board state. It felt more like playing EDH, but against people that did not have any CEDH cards. So it's like, I don't know what any of these things do. So it felt like that, which is it's a little weird, but that's just kind of how it is. But
isn't that how Magic's been for the last 3 years, though?
No, so
everything has a textbook on it.
Well, I can usually keep up with it, like the draft portion of it. Like when they did when the last time they had like a sub game, which was in the D&D set, the Adventures of the Forgotten Realm. It was like you had D20 themes, and then you had like the dungeons. I was able to keep track of the dungeons pretty easily. The ring, where it's at, the legendaries matters, are all kind of combined in like one single ring trigger, and having to like watch that thing move back and forth and be like, well, that creature can't block, but my creature's also like randomly legendary, and this and this and that. It was a lot. Yeah. So
I believe you, because like I didn't get to play it, but I know that there's a lot of fucking things going on.
Dude, I'm like looking at the board state, and I'm like, yeah, this is a lot. So, and it's usually how it feels with like any new set, but this was like it was very overwhelming, and it was hard to try to like build themes in your deck. But aside from that, it was a fun format. Like, yeah.
Who won the pre-release, and what were they doing?
I only did the one that had it's 3 rounds, and I was unfortunate because round 1 I lost, round 2 I won, and then round 3 my opponent was like, you get the win because I got to leave, so I got to play 1 round of 2 rounds of my deck, and I was like, oh, this sucks. So I was a little sad. At the pre-release you want to play. Like I just want to play more. But all right, so everybody and their mother is coming out with the 1-of-1 ring that you can buy on Wish, by the way. These are literally in the market. They have the crappy foiling. I'm sure everybody is disclaiming them, but yeah, these things are literally everywhere, and I think this current highest bid is still 2.3 million, or 2 million euros as of right now, which, oof. Yeah, it's pretty nuts, but
no one's gonna open it. It's fake.
So there's a little bit of conspiracy theory that I was talking with people on. In a couple weeks, they come out with that bundle, and I think people assume it's in the bundle, like because they want to make sure that they can sell as many of this set as possible to distributors. Because as soon as that ring is open, that set, the collector boosters are going to tank. But so even if you don't get a 1-of-1 ring right now, the 1 of like 700, or the 1 of 500, the 1 of 300, the 1 of 300 ring sold for about 13 grand already. So there's still some pretty hot ticket items in here, especially with these soul rings. So I don't know if you want to sit on these cards.
Nope.
I think you want to get them and ship them ASAP, because this seems like a hyper inflated price. Like, I'm not 100%. Sure. 13,000 for a soul ring just seems absurd to me. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is really pimped, because if you think about it, there's only going to be 1,500 of like serialized soul rings, right? And it's the iconic thing for Commander. But dude,
there's also like 7K unserialized ones, or 3K unserialized.
Yeah,
ones.
But I was surprised that the serialized ones got up to 5 figures. And the fact that it sold for that was like pretty wild to me. So I'd love to talk to somebody who bought one of those. It's not a vendor. I'm very curious on what made you want to go after this, and if it was your thoughts on the secondary market. Like, I'm gonna hold this until I make the monies, you know. But
You get Dan out here and see what he has to say about.
it won't be a bad idea. I might invite him next week and see like what he has to say. Also,
He would love to get on here and talk. He would love to talk.
I would-
guarantee you.
I'm all about Magic Finance. I like hearing about it from the the buyers, so like the store owners front or viewpoint, just because they can give players or people who haven't worked behind the counter a perspective that's unfamiliar or these Nazgul prices, I think that's what this card's called, are really high.
$30 for that one? Why is that one $30?
I have no idea. I just saw these recently, and I didn't see anybody play these in the pre-release. And then I also didn't hear about a lot. Like, people are saying like they're opening up boxes and they're just not getting any. So I don't know if these are just like these weird rarities that they're high.
My coworker told me he wants to build a Nazgul deck,
Right.
and he's one of the like people that are only he wants to get it because it's Lord of the Rings.
Okay. So I wonder if it's like
He's not really interested. He's like his Magic interest is low, but his Lord of the Ring interest is high.
this is like some sub Relentless Rats thing, or maybe there's a decks that people want to build, because 9 is like pretty low number. I don't know. But yeah, it's for like an uncommon that doesn't really do anything. Unless, hold on, do these work with changelings? No, probably not. I don't know. I gotta look it up. Hold on. I want to see if it works with changelings, because that might make more sense. Nazgul.
I'm also interested.
Yes, because if they do work with changelings, that makes a little bit more sense. It's when Nazgul, so this card specifically enters the battlefield. Okay. When the ring tempts you, put it. Okay. I don't know. How many wraiths are there in Magic?
No idea.
It's the only one. Ring wraiths and Nazguls are the only wraiths in the game in Magic. Unless, yep. Okay. Sweet. All right, dude. Yeah. And then the last thing, I don't know if you've seen, but after pre-release weekend, I think every store is following market trends and the boxes are getting out of control. So right now, a singular collector booster that you can get on Amazon is $58.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy because the typical collector booster price is anywhere from like $23 to $30 on average, and the boxes were pre-selling for like $380, and then now they're up to another $520, and it's one of those things where until that ring is open, that every week this price is going to continuously go up because the idea of no one's opened it yet is still out there, right? So I think the big play here, if you do, that person who's ever out there, if you're listening to this podcast, and you should always be listening to our podcast because we're the number one Magic podcast on the internet. If you do open it, you don't reveal it. You just buy as many collector boosters that day as your bank account allows you to, and then you sell those booster boxes, knowing that people are going to still be in the search for this thing. But yeah,
To make an extra $10K off of your, $2 million that you're sitting on.
that's
He's right. Yeah, he's right.
just spend all the money that you have in your bank account to get as many collector boosters, and then just watch that price go up, 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 and then once you're, I guess, rinse and repeat that money at X amount of times. I don't know, but yeah, that's what these things are for. You might be able to get to like local stores that aren't paying attention to the internet, but it's kind of hard in this day and age to like go to a store and them not realize that the Lord of the Rings booster is worth a lot more money, especially because the internet is all talking about how there is a one-of-one card. Even the Pokemon community is all about it too. I think that's something that you called, Josh, right? That you said like the Pokemon community is going to get down on this.
I did say that.
Yeah, I think I've been watching some YouTubers that are big in like pack openings that have talked about it.
There's no one's playing Pokemon for. No one's in the Pokemon. They're all in it for the like collection aspect, and they all the cards get graded, and they were trying to make money. And all those people that aren't doing it, they heard about this one-of-one card. Guaranteed, they're in chasing opening booster packs.
Yeah, especially, I mean, would WotC be willing to have I'm always, the tinfoil hat's coming out here, to give it to a different brand representative of like a different game just to draw in people, maybe even one of the Soul Rings, right? Like have them open one of 700 Elven or human Soul Ring. That way they can talk about it on stream and build tons and tons of hype for it.
Is it something that that's a weird like wishy-washy tinfoil thing, but
Yeah.
is it possible? 100%.
Yeah.
And like if you would have asked me 10 years ago, I would say there's no way.
Yeah.
But like Hasbro's a little corporations are nefarious.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many like theories about like where it's going to go. There was a rumor that it was in Brazil, and then all this other stuff too of where the ring is currently or possibly is. But I mean, if you open the ring, I think isn't the first thing you do is drive to like WotC's headquarters.
To the bank or to a lawyer.
I guess fair. Get out of there. All right. RCQ promos. Have you had a chance to look at these things yet?
I did, and I kind of was like Dragonlord Silumgar, and then I like read all the comments, and a lot of people were excited about it, but that's just like it doesn't like wet my whistle.
Yeah.
It is like I guess it's an EDH card.
Is this like to try to get EDH players to start playing competitive 60 card formats? Because there's only one competitive card in here, which is Death Shadow, like an offer you can't refuse, and Silumgar. Those are both like heavy in EDH. But also the Jace cat. I think everybody who's got a cat EDH. Is there a Bant Cats EDH? I think that's the downside. Yeah, maybe not. But these are.
I didn't realize that was a Jace cat.
Yeah, neither did I. I just posted it because that's what I do. I spam post. That's how I bring stuff out. But the Death Shadow's pretty cool. Didn't they already do like a Death Shadow Secret Layer though? I think they did. It's hard for me to remember this stuff.
I'm okay with more cool arts like this because it like helps keep your investment worth your investment or whatever.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, pretty sick though. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I got to post this on Facebook, and some of the stuff from the news set is a little bit confusing. But I posted Forge Anew and Cauldron Complete. It's the potential Wombo combo that people might want to play in Modern. And the reason you can do that is because there's a little bit of confusion on how this like actually operates. So if you have a creature plus a Cauldron Complete and you play Cauldron Complete in your graveyard and you play a Forge Anew, that Cauldron Complete can create 10 damage. And the way that happens is the Cauldron Complete does, when it enters the battlefield, it makes a living weapon, and then you are able to do 5 damage worth of first strike, and then in between first strike and normal damage or regular combat damage, you can move or equipped at instant speed and then equipped for 0, so you can move it to a creature that is also attacking and increase its stats for normal damage by 5 with +5/+5, and then give it all the other abilities. Is that good enough?
You can equip at instant speed
With the Forge Anew.
Oh, I missed that line. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so you're able to attack with the living with the germ token, and then you deal first strike damage, and then you switch it over.
Wow, that's slick.
Yeah, it's definitely like a cute thing to do. Maybe that card adds a little bit of more playability to that card. I don't know. But
That Ford Cauldron Complete card.
yeah, the only downside is then you got to play Cauldron Complete, which I don't know if you've heard of this card called Haywire Might, but it kind of clowns that card. Haywire Might's kind of just an absolute beating. All right, so the professor's tweet, which made me laugh the other day, this is the statement that he made, and I kind of agree with all the things he said. So he said, "Modern is the new legacy, Pioneer is the new standard, Standard is the new extended, Commander is the new draft, Draft is the new Magic Online, and Oathbreaker is the new Pioneer, and Pauper is the new Canadian Highlander. And then he followed it with, I will not be taking any questions at this time.
I agree with the Modern is the new Legacy one, at least price-wise.
Oh,
What it used to be.
Yeah.
Pioneer is the new Standard. I kind of get that, as in that that's what everyone is playing.
Well, also the RCQ format is like really driven into with Pioneer versus, well, I guess it's by seasons now, but people because of the RCQ and the potential path to the Pro Tour, a lot more RCQs are Pioneer driven than they are Modern or Standard.
Standard is the new Extended. I think is a shot at the everything stays in Standard an extra year.
I think that is too. And then back when there were seasons in like 2007, 2008, and 2009, people only played Extended during Extended season, and you have to have. What is Antonio saying? I think he's wrong. Don't you pass the first strike damage after first attack? No, there's a step between first strike damage and.
Oh, listen to Antonio. He has no idea what he's talking about.
Don't distract me. So. Did you play during that, Josh? You had to have, because that's when I was playing too, and then I think we kind of get out at the same time. Did you ever play Extended?
Yeah, I did really well with that Extended deck.
Yeah, so Extended was like
Zoo. I was playing Zoo with Tarmogoyf and Baneslayer
what the hell is that deck?
and Wild Nacatl.
Oh, you must be just playing like straight up Zoo, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right.
Kurt 8.
Yeah, dude.
And then the top end was Baneslayer.
What did that deck look like? Did that deck have Noble Hierarch in it too?
I think so.
Okay, that sounds like a deck that would, but Zoo was really cool back then versus what it looks like now. But yeah, people only played Extended when it was Extended season, which if you were a dealer at that time that bought and sold Magic cards, Extended was like your heaven because you were able to buy a ton of Extended cards during the off season for low prices because it wasn't season. And then when it became the beginning of the Extended season and there was 4 new Standard sets that were out and potential combos that didn't exist prior, all of a sudden these cards would spike through the roof. So that was a dealer's dream. But Commander is the new Draft. Is that saying that?
It's like what everyone's playing at the store.
Yeah.
It's what people go to the store to do. They go to the store to play Commander.
Dude, what out of all the games of Commander, what's the largest that's not like a sanctioned Grand Melee? What's the largest pot of Commander you've played in? Is it 6?
Damien does 6. Even then, you're supposed to divide by. You're supposed to. It should be all. There should be a way you should you can always do 4 or 3.
Yeah, or 2 3-man pod. I would rather do a 3-man pod versus a 6-man pod. 6-man pod just sucks.
It's a nightmare.
Well, you never get to do anything.
5-man pods suck too.
Yeah, I mean,
but 5-man does happen if if there's 5 players and nobody wants to play.
Right. Draft is the
five is probably the highest number you can get away with Commander.
Yeah, I think that's like, all right, well, we don't want you to sit out this whole, for the next 2 hours while we play, so come on in. But, I mean, people do get away with doing,
some people love their big 8-man circle EDH that takes 5 hours to play.
Oh, dude. I think I've only been a part of, a 6-man pod once, and then it was just it's agonizing. I have no patience for I just want to get to my turn so I can do something rather than just being nothing's going on over there, and then just the sheer amount of wraths that exist. You're like, oh my god, nothing's ever gonna happen in this game.
Yeah.
All right. And then Draft is the new Magic Online, which I think people primarily draft online now, especially because it's the easiest way to do it via Arena. And with Lord of the Rings being on Arena, I'm gonna draft it.
Magic Online is where people are testing the new formats.
That too. Yeah. Oathbreaker is the new Pioneer. Is that the shot? Because when Pioneer first came out, it was hot for 2 weeks, and then it disappeared off the face of it.
I have no idea even what Oathbreaker is.
It's your Planeswalker is your legendary creature, and then you get to do a signature spell, and you build a 60-card deck that is all one ofs.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I don't get this one because I don't. Whatever.
Yeah, neither do I. I built the Oathbreaker deck. I have yet to find anybody else who's playing Oathbreaker. Not a single person.
I believe Professor.
And then Pauper is the new Canadian Highlander, which I've actually seen people with Canadian Highlander decks.
It's like what hipsters play.
Yeah. Which I built my Pauper deck. I have it sitting.
I have a Pauper deck.
I have this weird like dream that like I'm just gonna like randomly run into somebody like, hey, you want to play casual Magic? And then the reality is that's never gonna happen for me. Like I don't know why I carry these decks with me. I just like in this allure of playing for fun with nothing on the line, a 1v1 format, you know. All right, but with that, I think he's pretty on the money on that. I liked. And Legacy it's slowly dying. I think last week we talked about there was a leak, or not a leak, or some news coming out that if you do like a 3-person, like a team event, and one of your seats is Legacy, and that event qualifies you for an RCQ, the Legacy seat does not qualify.
They won't do that.
No, they did.
They did?
Yeah, like Legacy cannot qualify you for any RCQ events. So like an NRG is de-incentivized from playing Legacy as their third man. It has to be sealed, standard, pioneer, modern. If it's any alternatives from that seat, even though the event is based on the 3-man seat, the person who's playing the unsanctioned event cannot qualify.
Ooh.
It's just another like let's push Legacy players down into a whole kind of thing, which at this point, why?
I think people are still going to play Legacy, though.
Oh, dude, for sure. Legacy, it's its own thing. It's,
mostly, like, Legacy anyway is supported by, like, stores anyway.
yeah.
So, just because you don't get to make the RCQ doesn't mean it's going to go away.
No. I think Ollie's on the mark there. Make your own communities. Screw Wizards. You don't need them.
Yep.
All right. And the world complains again about Orcish Bowmaster.
They want to ban this in Commander.
That's
I've yet to see a post. I've yet to see a post saying people should ban this.
What about this one? Yeah.
What does this say? Read it.
All right. It's the idea that Orcish Bowmaster should be banned in a casual format like Commander on release weekend is absurd. The card is great. Maybe even busted, but it shouldn't be banned now and probably won't ever be banned ever. There was a huge like Twitter thread and people speaking on the behalf of the committee of like, oh, this is so ridiculous. I hate that somebody plays this in my casual pod. Wait. It's just blue players that are angry that they're getting punished for Rhystic Study.
Right.
Like,
one damage.
Yeah, well, it's if you gang up together, you can. But what if there's 2 or 3 Orcish Bowmasters and you're the Rhystic Study? Every draw costs a lightning bolt to your face. So. And
the comparison to like Hull Breacher is like no, because Hull Breacher they don't get the card.
Well, that's
get the treasure.
exactly.
You still get the card.
Yep.
You just take a point. Like,
that's the biggest thing.
Are we complaining about Underworld Dreams now?
Yeah, I guess that's the point. But Underworld Dreams you can't flash in, and it also doesn't leave behind a large creature. I mean, every wheel's...
It's a 1/1.
Well, it's bigger than that. So if you... Well, yes, if they do that. But a mass, because it keeps going bigger than that. Like, let's say if I have Orcish Bowmasters...
One creature.
And I play Wheel of Fortune. I get to do 21 pings of damage, so I get to diversify that pings as much as I want. And then also I end up with a 21-21. Or...
There's a million other combos you can do with Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, I know. That's why it's funny. I think... So wheel effects like Narset, that's denial. People don't. I think there's like this weird relationship with their mana dorks. This card is like the king of killing mana dorks. Like, oh, you played a Llanowar Elf? Well, I'm gonna have that guy draw an extra card and ping. There goes your Llanowar Elf. So
because I'm a mana dork fan.
Yeah, me too. And they're all 1-butts and. When it doesn't make any sense to ping somebody for a singular damage, you're just gonna ping off, utility creatures.
Yep.
So that's probably where the biggest feel bad is. Yeah. Well, that's Commander, right? Like the
Not
idea.
the Magic.
Yeah, think people are gonna do things you don't like, and
You could keep complaining. I'm gonna strip mine you.
yeah. Usually, as soon whoever at the table when I used to do the competitive EDHs at 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 a local store of ours, whoever was just like whining was like, "Oh, you've just incentivized me to make you my main target. I'm not here to make you feel better, but the fact that you're trying to ruin everybody's experience by crying about this thing I did only incentivizes me to come after you even harder."
Right.
Like, so the best way to, I guess, survive a game of EDH with me is just agree with me, and then I won't come after you. But as soon as you are against me, well, yeah, you're my forever enemy. And lastly, the ambassador program. So I didn't really know anything about this, but this is something you could apply for apparently. But it's you're essentially in an ambassador program where you may get they send you product of some sort. You may be an influencer of some sort, whatever it may be. But you can get into this ambassador program by applying for it, and you become a talking head for Wizards of the Coast.
You should enter this.
You said we shouldn't?
I said you should.
I'll try. I'll throw it out, see what happens.
What are they gonna make us talking head? What are they gonna make us talking head?
Yeah.
Yes. Buy more packs. I'll like if. Right. If they want me to tell them to buy more packs, that's fine. I'll do that because we're the paper player. But if they try to get us to sell Arena, I'm out.
Well, yeah, they might have to sell Alchemy. Did you know that the Lord of the Rings set is legal on Alchemy?
I don't even know what alchemy is.
That's the... So standard's now 3 years.
I know what it is, but I don't care.
Yeah. Anything that's not paper related is really boring to me. I don't know.
That, like my paper like enjoyment is hanging on. It's only because I'm good that I'm hanging on.
You wouldn't play Magic any other way?
If I was bad, like I wouldn't play.
Well, you might just be like a commander only player, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still at the point. I don't know. My Magic career is weird. I'm at the point like where I sold all my good commander cards. I guess that's a lie. I kept all the Perforos cards, but
yeah,
I all my other good cards.
You just keep that one deck so just in case someone's like, I play Magic, like, so do I. And then you just get involved in it. Yeah. That's medium, I guess.
Well, I was like, I keep all my precons too.
Yeah, there's almost no consequence for keeping the precons. I did buy the Warhammer precons and then I bought 4 of them and I slaved them all up and I have them in this little nice case of this dream that like I'll break them out with people. They're just gonna stay there. I should have kept them sealed. Like, I do a lot of things so I do a lot of things that 2012 Tony would have done because I was at every store every day, like all the time. Like, oh, this store had an event on Tuesday. This store had an event on Wednesday. This store had an event on Thursday. So I was always traveling. And I just brought everything with me because, sometimes an event went fire. And I was like, well, I don't want to waste a trip here. So do you want to sit down and play with me? And they're like, no, I don't have a deck. I'm like, I brought 2. Let's play it.
Or trade stuff.
Yep. And
I was a big trader.
Yeah. And then that doesn't really exist for me anymore, but I still have that that line of thinking of I'm gonna build multiple like Pauper decks and have them on me for the guy that wants to play Pauper but doesn't have a deck. It's like that just doesn't happen. Everybody's playing Commander and Commander only, so it's just like have your one Commander deck with you, and then maybe whatever nonsense you're doing. But maybe I should change because. See? Just like that. Oh, man. There wasn't too much going on this week for Magic other than the drama that exists on tweets here about the thing. I'm going to go look at Amazon real quick and see what the cost of a box is and see if it's gone up from that $57 price tag. No, it's still the same price, so... Where can I get this? See all buying options.
It's so expensive, don't buy it.
Oh, The packs went up $3. They went up a couple dollars. Jesus Christmas. Don't buy this. Save your money for this. Wilds of Eldraine, baby. Hopefully they make this girl or this gingerbread lady a planeswalker.
Ooh.
That's what I hope they do.
I think I heard someone say that.
That'd be cool because it was. I mean, don't know what they would do. Oh, you know what? They would just be like an Oko plus something, make food. Bewitching, bewitching borderless cards. Okay, that's new.
I'm gonna. Oko is my Halloween costume.
Is it gonna be like the meme where they make Oko the absolute worst planeswalker in existence just to be funny about it?
No way. It's just gonna be a straight reprint.
There has been some discussion about that. Of is Oko even good?
Fine.
Dude, is Oko even good?
He would be fine. Yeah, I don't think he's. He would be fine in standard right now. Bring him back. Bring him back.
I think that was the thing. I think Oko was, well, aside from the pandemic, Oko was truly the thing that killed standard. Dude.
What if they just reprinted him though? The straight out reprint.
And I guess he is legal in both EDH and Legacy. So I guess that's cool.
He's not legal in. He's not legal in Legacy. He's banned.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Vintage. So for all those vintage players out there, do you know we have a vintage event that's coming near us? That's yeah. That I'm considering building a vintage deck just so I have Okos that are sitting in a box so I can play my Okos again.
Is there a proxy? Is there a proxy limit?
No, it's unlimited.
It's unlimited proxies.
Yeah.
Oh, stop! Is it still at the same place that I won the volcanic?
Yep.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah, me too.
I'll proxy up a vintage deck.
We just got to get some games in so we understand what vintage is. You know.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what you would play in vintage?
Delver.
Is it good at vintage?
I have no idea.
I don't know if it is because I think Wasteland and Strip Mine are restricted to one each.
Ooh. That's boring.
I know what Strip Mine is. Don't quote me on the Wasteland. I'm almost 100% that Strip Mine's a one of, or you can only have a singleton.
I think I would play Paradoxal Storm.
I guess. I mean, whatever. Let's see what vintage decks look like nowadays. Hate Bear?
Right,
Is Hate Bear just initiative? Yep, okay, it's just initiative. So initiative is obviously the bee's knees. Yeah, you can play 4 Wasteland, you're good. This is the deck I would play, just this stupid deck, because it's, you know. What do you even oath the Druids into? Oh, you just go into Atraxas? Oh, okay. I'm probably playing this deck.
I got a Monastery Mentor and destroy you.
You can't beat a life. You can't beat a flyer. Is Narset restricted to 1? Narset might be restricted to 1. Dude, these decks look wild. And this deck gets to play the cards like the Might Stone and the Weak Stone. What the hell? Because you could bounce it. Obviously, Urza Saga is one of the best cards in that format by a million. Schrodinger's Cat. Okay.
MTGO Preliminary. What got first place? Mud.
Planeswalker Control. Oh, look at that. 4 Deathrite Shaman.
Actually, I play this deck. I play this deck.
It's got 4 Deathrites and 2 Ragavans.
I would play Mud.
Yeah, Mud's probably the best way to go. The only downside with Mud is you have to play so many one-ofs because they've restricted so many things. Did you know Lodestone Golem's restricted to 1?
I did know that.
Yeah.
Amethyst is restricted.
Trinisphere. Yeah. You can still have 4. But maybe not. Thorn's probably not.
Resistance.
Yeah, you can have 4 of that. I guess because it's a dual-sided effect. Somebody really cares about it. But maybe I could convince JB to play some Magic Online with me and some Vintage just so I can get some games in.
I'll play this deck.
That's sick, dude. All right. Do we have anything going on else
Turn
in?
one, drop a lodestone golem, right? Suck a dick.
That's not even good. You want to go turn 1 Trinisphere. It's way better.
Yeah,
then,
I guess.
Then they can't go land Lotus. Well, actually, they can go because Lotus doesn't get impacted by Lodestone. Because is it non-artifact? How does that card read? I don't know. When does that card get good?
Trinisphere is like all spells.
Trinisphere is all spells, but I'm saying non-artifact spells. So you can still go Lotus on turn 1 versus Lodestone. This is a 70 cents card that is restricted to 1. Maybe I'll play Grixis Control. I want to see if there's any legacy decks right now with Mono Black Helm. Okay. This is the new hotness that's been coming out for a little bit now. Where it's literally just a Mono Black deck that plays Opposition Agent, Shield Grid, and Helm of Obedience, and 4.
I saw that.
Yeah, that deck's cool.
Click on that Planeswalker control deck
From where?
at the top. That one got first place.
Oh, you talking about for Vintage?
Where you're clicking right now. Stop. Just click the top list. There you go.
This one?
Yeah.
This is Mono Black Helm.
Boom. Why does it say Planeswalker control?
Where do you see that?
Oh, the YouTube is delayed.
Yeah, it's super delayed, dude.
Okay.
My bad, dude. My bad.
I'm an idiot.
I'm trying to figure out what you're looking at. All right, then we got.
Let me go back to looking into the Discord.
Yeah. All right, we got.
Act like I'm on a podcast.
Nah, you're good. Let's see. Preliminaries. Is this out yet? Is any of Lord of the Rings bug scam? One of the things that makes me sad is Belfastrix is like a dead card now. If Orcish Bowmasters is seriously like the best card.
Yeah, the card. Like, Bowmasters kind of just wrecks Baleful Strix.
Yeah, you're like, oh, nice 2-minute draw one. Death Shadow. Yeah, this must be the thing's not out yet. I mean, this is like probably the cheapest deck that you can build. One of the cheapest builds you can build in Legacy. If you just go like 1 UC and get a 4th Watery Grave. How much is Snuff out now? Ooh, that's a pretty penny. Thoughts these are
Sold mine.
sick. Dragon Cephalid Breakfast. This is like the deck that everybody loves playing. I have this deck, but I only have 2 of these Staff the Storytellers, and I don't want to go get any more. It's just, it hurts my heart to go and buy that stuff. These are all old as hell. Let's see if there's MTGO 5.0 lists. I'm just trying to find if Orcish Bowmaster is something that people are actually playing. They should be. No, okay. They're not. I guess they're not out yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terramander. This is your kind of deck, dude.
Dude, I was saying that Delver was the weakest card in the deck, and I wanted to replace it, and then I brought up Terramander.
It could be good enough, dude. I don't know. Like, how? Well, it's weird because
If I want to keep playing the blue-red dude, I need less humans.
oh sure.
And that,
Oh, the what's that guy's name? The monk.
with Delver is it flips into a human insect. Ugh.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's kind of a bad design, huh?
Uh-huh.
Human wizard and a human insect. That's booty.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, no bueno.
I learned that the hard way, but I still won. But
Yeah. All right. These decks are holding on by a limb.
that guy did it. Hang on, how that deck went? What was
Wait,
that record
no,
with
this
the
is
turn?
this is legal. I knew this card was. This is the card that. Okay, so this is the deck I wanted to build.
Okay, so it is, but there's no.
No
Bowmasters.
orchestra. No Boardmasters. But it's literally just play this card, and then you just go into Uncounterable Fairies, Minsk and Booze, or Rose, whatever the hell this card is. Cards in your graveyard can't be the target of spells or
Cards
abilities.
Still on site, huh?
Yeah. And then Leovold, which is the bee's knees. Like, Leovold, this is probably when Leovold came out, I think Deathrite was still legal at the time. Yeah, that wasn't. I guess this isn't much. This is like a preliminary where you 4-0, so this isn't a good swath of data. But I like that guy's name is Magic's Dad. All right. Well, Jeff and Jeff. Maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll have a full cast next week where there's actually 4 of us. But it's been a minute since we've been able to pull that off because Jeff's got the 2 Jeffs are at the barbecues. I think. Are they at Antonio's house? Probably. That makes the most sense to me. All right, Josh, hit us up with that hot take.
Jurassic Park has a better trilogy than Lord of the Rings. And it is Wednesday, my dudes.